Hey, welcome back to another episode of Yes, Quit Your Day Job. I'm Sevan Dunbar, audio engineer, music producer. Um, Typically, so what this podcast is about, it is about helping people, creative people navigate the entertainment industry. Kind of no matter if you're just starting out or you're an established professional. We have just kind of tips and tricks to navigate that. And then we also interview people that work in the entertainment industry and kind of talk about their journey and stuff. And up until this point, it's been all musicians, artist managers, booking agents, people that are directly related to the music side of the entertainment industry. Today, we're going to do something a little bit different. We have an amazing Las Vegas based tattoo artist named Daph Doll. And I've, as a musician myself, I've always seen that the tattoo world and the music world, they're all very, very intertwined, very side by side, a lot of parallels between what it is to be a musician or a touring musician or a producer or a tattoo artist or running your own business. So, yeah, gonna turn it over to Daphne here and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hello, I am Daphne. I am 28 and I take residency in Las Vegas. I've been a tattoo artist for 14 years, but
Wow, so
mainly
half your life, huh?
pretty much. I didn't fully dedicate to tattooing till I turned 19. I didn't see it something that would fall into my world because I was a very spontaneous artist. I was playing with clay, I was playing with wood, I was a graphic designer, I was trying to work for record companies because my mom and my grandfather were musicians and they were in bands, and I just come from a long line of artistic people. So tattooing for me, when I turned 19, I came to the realization this is something that's gonna not not just fulfill me as a person, but helps other people. Because it helps you find your identity, it helps you find your crowd, it helps you look for something or change who you are in a way.
I love
Just like
that.
how life is supposed to be, I suppose.
Yeah, very cool. Let's see here. I love that. Well, thanks for coming on and hanging out with us.
Of course. Thank you
I
for
guess,
having me.
yeah. Jumping right in. Like, what does it really mean to build a career as a working tattoo artist?
For me, personally, I'm gonna speak for myself because it's all about opinion. I believe the key word is sacrifice. Because when you want something so bad and you are so passionate about it and you can't see yourself doing anything other than that, you're going to do stuff to get to that. Like before tattooing, I probably had 2 or 3 jobs just to support my dream. I
Sure.
didn't become a full time tattoo artist up until 4 years ago. And it's been awesome quitting my day job. I don't want to work for Taco Bell.
I could see how that. Yeah,
But that's what you have to do, I feel. Like, it's kinda like the story of Hercules when he's trying to go to Olympium, if I remember correctly, you have to go through those 7 trials. You have to go through humiliation, you have to go through these tears, the sweat, the, "Oh my god, can I do this? Is it worth it? Am I gonna make it?" After you triumph all that shit, if I'm allowed to curse on here. After you get
please.
through
Yeah.
all of that, it really pays off because once you sacrifice everything that's gonna possibly hold you back or not suit what's gonna be in the future, it really pays off. It does because everything that you let go of to get to the dream that you're trying to accomplish, everything comes back to you if it's supposed to come back. But the main goal is to live your dream. And whatever you gotta do, if you gotta work 3 jobs and take orders and save up the money to get the supplies, to get everything off the ground, fucking do it.
I
Because
love
when they
that.
look back at it, like, I can say I was a manager for Taco Bell, and now I'm tattooing tacos on people. Like, I'm serving up 2 different things.
So, so with the tattooing, is the business or the art more important to you?
Shit, I've been told the business part is the most important part because that's what's gonna feed you, but I feel the artistic part is the most crucial thing to the business because anybody can run a business, but not everybody has a product. And if you can focus on the product that you're trying to sell, that's the most thing you want to focus on because a passion, you can, unfortunately, like, I, bad words of choice. Um, you can
No,
sell a
you're
passion.
you're not censored here at all.
Everybody wants a passion. They want an experience. And if you can practice your craft to give them an experience that is worth the price that you're asking, focus more on the practice, on the art of what you're trying to sell because that's what's going to be your bread and butter. Like, great example. I made the mistake of saying to a tattoo artist, "I hate skulls and roses. Fuck skulls and roses. Fuck that shit." I got sat down so fast and told, "You are the stupidest piece of shit." Because everybody wants skulls and roses. Now, if you can practice skulls and roses and get that business part taken care of, you can focus on the passion part. But the whole idea of that is if you can focus on skulls and roses and perfect it, sell that, you can build on that idea of, hey, I can do this. Hey, I can do that. Hey, I can do this.
Yeah, okay. Wait,
Because
so
money, sorry.
no, go on, please.
Well, how I've seen it, money is such a given in any profession. So the less you worry about the money and focus on the product, regardless of what the product is, the money's always going to be a given, right?
I
Like,
I love that because I feel the same way, like the parallel between audio engineering and producing music where I could work 7 days a week, 20 hours a day if I wanted to, but I'm selective on what I work on because it's it's not about the money. Like, it is, but it isn't. Like, we all need the money to survive, and we need the money to be able to do what we're passionate about, but when I'm deciding if I'm gonna work with somebody, the budget doesn't come into consideration. It's, there's so many other factors that as long as those things are
yeah,
checked off, the money's gonna take care of itself, like you said.
exactly. Same with the tattoo, with the client. Like, I don't do hourlies, I don't do the whole day rates. I'm learning to, but at the end of the day, it's the design. And when
Yeah,
I say a flat fee and they want to make changes, let the changes be changed. It's okay. It's fine. There's enough skin. There's enough designs. There's enough whatever. Like, just take the price and make the person happy. Because what's going to make the world go around, what's going to keep money coming is making people happy.
that's a
So,
great way to look at it, and I do that with revisions. So what a revision is that if I do a mix for somebody and maybe they'll come back and go, "Hey, you know what? It sounds great, but if I can get the vocals with just a little bit more reverb, or if I can make the kick drum just a little bit louder." Like, these are revisions, right? Where little tweaks, like we're almost there, but there's things that they would like it to fit their vision a little bit better. And a lot of engineers will be like, "Okay, you get 2 revisions and then I'm going to start charging you or whatever." And I don't do that. All the work I do, unlimited revisions, because at the end of the day, it's not done until the client says that it's done. And when they're happy and they say, "I love this," it's done, you know? Now if they come back to me 6 months from now and go, "Wow, I really wish I'd added in this louder, or I don't like that reverb on the vocal. Can we take it off?" I'm going to charge them then because it's been 6 months and they already signed off on it, you know? But, um, I know you've worked at different shops and you've worked like freelance. Like, what's the what are some of the big differences between being freelance or working at a shop?
that's a good question because personally, for me, freelance, I have to remind myself, I have to push myself more, I have to inspire myself, and that's not a big problem, and there's nothing wrong with it, finding inspiration in lonesomeness. But when you're working for a shop and you're around people that are more talented than you, which in my case, it's every shop I go into, I know everyone's gonna be better than me, and that's what I look for because I'm looking
Yeah,
to be a better artist.
that's where
When
you
you're
wanna
by
be.
your Yeah, exactly, exactly. When you're
Yeah,
by yourself, I feel it is a right of understanding yourself as an artist. Like, I believe you should be in a shop and then be by yourself and then go back into a shop, be by yourself. Like, have a rotating system because when you're surrounded in a shop, you have the discipline of others, not as a pressure or criticism, like bad criticism, but constructive criticism, like, "Hey, you could have shaded that more. Hey, there's a technique I could show you." Or, "Hey, there's this skin no, there's this ink dilation or ink whatever." Like, I don't know all the fancy terms.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
I know is that there's somebody out there that can do something better than me, and there's an opportunity at a shop that I can learn more. When I'm by myself, I'm focusing more on my own craft, which is miscellaneous style. Because when I'm at a tattoo shop, the only pros and cons, the only downside of being in a shop, you have to follow certain rules, you have to stay in your lane, you can't be too out there and experimental. When you're by yourself, you can push the envelope a little bit more. There's no risk, there's no reputation, there's no, oh, if I fuck this up, the whole shop goes down. I have to take responsibility. I will own this mistake or own this embrace. Like, it's ups and downs, you know? But for me personally, I think I prefer both. If there's a chance to be in a shop, I'm gonna be in a shop. If there's a chance for me to be on my own, I'm gonna be on my own because there's no real true downside.
Yeah, and again, I feel like this entire episode and interview, we're gonna encounter this, but everything you're saying, I'm immediately seeing the parallels to the studio world, you know, where
Is that
I
good? I hope that's good.
it is. It's so cool, because, like, as an engineer, if I go work at a like, I've worked at large format, big studios, and there's a certain clientele, and especially if we're doing, like, corporate work or whatever, there's a certain way that it's expected that you do things, you know, and, like you said, we're not I think this one thing where we were writing beats and kind of trying to get placements, and it was such a factory kind of vibe where it was like, these are the kind of snare drums that are popular right now on Billboard. So this is what you have to do.
Oh.
Like, this is the format we want. And it part of it was cool because, like, to work at that level, knowing I was working with like major labels and major artists. But part of me was like, this isn't art. This is cookie cutter,
It's
like,
a fact.
factory. Yeah.
Yes.
But, but you have that stability that clients are going to be there and you're going to, like you said, I love being the least talented person in a room, the least experienced, the least money. I want to be at the bottom of every circle I'm in because all I can do is learn from those people. Like the tricks from other audio engineers that are doing longer than me or doing different than I do, and but and I feel you're this way too. Like you have to be open to that feedback and look at that as a learning opportunity. So that's really cool. What
Oh,
what was your first exposure to tattoo culture?
oh fuck.
Great answer. Love
Shit.
it. Next question.
Oh, no, 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 no. I love this story. It's actually one of my favorite stories to tell. And I still talk to this individual. Every few years, I'll hit him up and be like, thank you. So I had an ex boyfriend in high school. I was 14 years old, and out of nowhere, I was drawing, and he brought up the idea, you should become a tattoo artist. Now, many people have told me this, but for some reason, when he mentioned it, he seemed a little bit like really set on the idea, like he already, like, oh, this is what you're going to do. So later on that day or that week, I remember he came to my house with this tattoo equipment and he's like, tattoo me. I'm 14 years old. It's a coil machine set. There's 8 machines. We're YouTubing how to fucking set this machine up. And I have like maybe 3 hours before my dad gets home. So I'm like, ah! But after that, and after I tattooed him, it just I don't know, something about the idea that I was gonna stay with him forever, and then just the idea that my artwork was gonna be possibly good enough to be out there in the world because my mom after my mom found out what I did, she also bought me a tattoo equipment for my birthday. No, not my
Oh,
birthday,
nice.
Christmas. Christmas, my first Christmas back with her. She bought me tattoo equipment and she took me to all these different tattoo shops and all these different places trying to get me an apprenticeship and I was rejected a lot. My art wasn't good enough, my style wasn't tattooable or something, and so I was really set and determined to show that I could tattoo my style because I really fell in love with the idea that everybody says their body's a temple. Everybody is a museum. Everybody you experience has something to offer, and if I could be a part of that help, that experience, that badge, that representation of that person with my art, with my style, or just the ability to tattoo. I want to be a part of it because though it's such a this is an expression I really love in life. It takes the nuts and bolts to build a tower.
I've never heard
Nuts
that.
and nuts and bolts are the smallest thing you're ever gonna find, and there's so many different kinds, but different kinds build the tower. And I like to think what I do with my life, what I like to pursue my life purpose to be for a tattoo artist is to be the little nuts and bolts through my artwork. And a tattoo can do a lot. I've seen a tattoo save a lot of people and help people find themselves or just find closure, or just have fun in the moment. And when I came to the realization that that's the true power of a tattoo, I wanted to be a part of it. And I don't know, it
Especially
just
especially in Vegas, like, it's such a tourist destination.
oh,
You're not creating work that's gonna be with somebody forever, but, like, a memory of this amazing trip they had, and they got to meet you, and they got a tattoo, and who knows what other trouble they got into at the time, you know?
the funny part about working in Las Vegas because I've learned that there's different types of tattoo artists. There's the travelers, the pirates, the shoppers, the fine artists, the tourist artists. There's different types of tattoo artists, just like there's different types of artists in general.
Yeah.
And Vegas provides such a variety of individuals, tourists, locals, artsies, the excluded. Like, I don't know how to put it into words, but I feel like Vegas is such a opportunity to find where I can find people that want what I can do. And I found some people that like what I can do, and then there's been times where I've had to be like, follow the shop rules and give those tourists the little bangers, little aces, little kings and queens, and oh, the little lucky dice. You can't forget the dice.
Right. That's awesome. Um, what was your first opportunity, like, actually in a shop? Like, how did that come about?
Oh, shoot. Okay, so I'm 19 years old. I'm freshly back in Las Vegas after moving back from San Diego, and my mom and I were at the Boulevard Mall. And I needed jewelry. We left the mall, and I see there's a tattoo shop across the street. And at the time, it was called Pack and Pores, owned by Darian Green. I
Okay.
go in, and it's an art gallery. Not a like it's a tattoo shop, but an art gallery. It was really cool. I go in, I ask about jewelry. He says, "Oh, we don't have jewelry. My bad. Sorry, yada yada yada." And they have a human skull. I own human remains too. So I'm like, "Oh my god, I love her. She's beautiful." And he's like, "Holy shit, how did you know it was a woman?" So from that conversation, it stemmed from, "Oh, this is a tattoo shop. I've been wanting to become a tattoo artist." And my mom's there showing off my artwork. My mom's my biggest hype man. So she's like, "Oh my God,
I love
opportunity."
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my mom's my favorite. So so after talking to this gentleman, he gave me a week of an apprenticeship there. And I thought I could do it. I chickened out my first time. But my first week there, it was really eye opening of what the world could be for me in that world.
Oh,
'Cause
how
I
cool.
was it oh my god, dude. They were talking about, like, how they every tattoo shop is different. Let's keep that in mind. Every shop is built differently to accommodate whatever who's working there and what they're trying to attract. This shop was the most scariest shop I could find myself in. Oh my gosh, I look back at it. I'm very grateful I only had a week there.
Why was it scary?
I don't know. I think what made it intimidating was the characters, because you have to keep in mind, anybody from Las Vegas knows that Maryland, the street Maryland and in Boulevard Mall, you got
Yeah.
a really colorful atmosphere and people, and back then when I was 19, it was owned by gentleman Darian, and it was just one of those shops that he lived there, some people lived there, the owners lived there. I think it was scary because I didn't know what to expect. Because how it shows on TV with those TV shows and how the shops are set up and all this other stuff, you don't expect to walk into a tattoo shop and you see 3 couches and a TV and a dog.
I I have my
Someone's
dog
random
sitting streaming
dog.
with me right now, so
But I guess, like, what also intimidated me was how artistically talented they were, like, how he could tattoo oil paintings on the skin, and it's just artistically, it was intimidating, not atmosphere-wise, far from it, just artistically wise, because to have such a raw talent and to have your shop be however you want it to be, but people still come up because of who you are as a person, that's fucking amazing. And I used to tattoo in garages and people still came and saw me.
'Cause
That
they're there
feeling
for
felt
you.
amazing.
Yes. Again, the parallels with studios, I've always said anybody can invest the money, they can buy nice gear and equipment and synthesizers and preamps and microphones and have the best of the best. Anybody can buy that equipment. People come there because of you and what you can do, not because of the equipment that's in the room, you know? Be that in a garage or in a studio, I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, what mistakes did you make early on that you think helped you grow as a tattoo artist?
Don't talk back to your mentor. Okay,
Okay.
honestly though, as an artist or a tattoo artist?
Either, yeah.
Either. Okay, cool. So as a tattoo artist, if you were an apprentice, my biggest mistake was having too much pride. Like I was really big in my head. You gotta learn to accept the criticism and the help. My biggest downfall, I think, I tattooed something. I can't remember. There was a lot of tattoos I messed up, but I was able to fix them. But there was one. I tattooed somebody's rib cage, and it was a pirate ship. And everyone kept telling me to check the sails. And I was like, no, 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 it's fine. Don't look at the sails, it's fine. The sails are backwards and the ship's going forwards. So that was one of my big mistakes I had to learn was to stop and look at the design, not get too ahead of myself, not be too prideful and be like, oh yeah, I got this, I got this. No, you take a step back, ask questions, ask for 3 sets of eyes.
Yeah,
And, like, it's someone's body. Like, what I learned really young I think another big mistake I made was I was using coil machines, and I didn't have a tattoo apprenticeship. I was tattooing out of my house, and I didn't know how to properly sanitize.
shit.
And I thought I had a scare. Somebody got infected after a tattoo. It was not done by me, it was what they did. But
Okay.
just that fear alone of not knowing what I was doing sanitary-wise I've learned really fast I needed to take my job more seriously. Like, I was 19, freshly out of that apprenticeship, home, coil machines. "Oh, yeah, I don't need an apprenticeship. That's too scary. I got this. I can YouTube this." No, you cannot.
Yeah.
I learned really fast YouTube does not teach you everything. You have to be around people that know what they're doing. You have to accept that you don't know everything. Because the first second you think you know everything, you don't know shit.
Mhm. Get backward sales. How does being based in Las Vegas shape your career? That's gotta be, an interesting place.
I think it's shaped my career in a very interesting aspect because it helped me get my first guest spot into Oregon. It a it helped me advertise myself as a city person, like somebody that can do something cool, and it helped me have that first opportunity of a first guest spot. So being in Vegas really does give you an umph in your career because Vegas is such a high traffic city. You have to have like some kind of shabam with it or pizzazz.
Like, how do guest spots work exactly?
Pure luck with my case. Personally, myself, I've had the fortune of knowing a lot of individuals that have seen me grow in my career and have seen that I've really been wanting this. So, my guest spot that I had last time, somebody just kept following my journey and we talked and he said, "Hey, I see that you're doing great. Do you want to come try coming out here and seeing if you can keep up with us?" And it was amazing.
That's so cool. How do you maintain, like, client relationships while you're traveling like that?
Consider everybody a friend. Try to
Nice.
keep up with everybody. Make sure you're friends with them on Facebook. Check in with them. I've had I've lost a few clients traveling, and I've lost a few even here in town. But I've found as long as I check in with everybody and I treat everybody as a friend, because everybody
Yeah.
is my friend. I don't really see clients as clients because the first time I stab you, it's like, "Hey, we're buddies. Let's go get some
First time I stab
sushi."
you, now we're friends.
Like, no, like, as long as everybody's my friend. I like to check in on everybody. I
And
like to
would
think
you say, like with a guest spot, or would that is that what makes the guest spots successful, or what does make the guest spot successful?
what makes it what makes it successful is just doing a good job, making sure everybody likes you, everybody wants to work with you again, being open to how everybody works,
Yeah.
and
Do you
just yeah.
you'd mentioned, like, the being friends with everybody, not just in real life, but also, like, social media and stuff. Um, like, how important is social media to the work that you do?
Personally, myself, I can't speak for everybody else, but for me, I really am bad at social media. I'm terrible at posting. I'm terrible at responding to every comment and getting back to people. So I really heavily rely on being in person, going to big events, trying to catch up with groups of people I've already tattooed, and
Oh, nice.
kind of
Yeah.
relying on word of mouth through their Instagrams and their Facebooks and their social medias, 'cause I'll ask them like, "Hey, if you take a picture with me, make sure you tag me," or, "Hey, if you got pictures, send them to me so I can post them too." 'Cause
Yeah, yeah.
I'm so bad with the social media nowadays. Cause I like being around in person. I like meeting people. I like getting an idea of who I'm gonna have in my chair, because social media, as great as it is to show and platform my work, I don't know. It's just nicer to shake somebody's hand and say, "Hey, how are you doing? What can I do for you? I'm Daphne. I'm here to help."
Love that. I imagine, like, eh, doing that kinda stuff and being as friendly as you are and just as genuine as you are and doing a lot of in-person stuff, like, what boundaries are necessary for you to create to keep that professionalism there as well?
Never give out my phone number.
Okay, fair.
That
Yeah.
is the first thing I come to mind when it comes to this. Is I Me personally, I'm a very unorganized individual, so I try to encourage people, even my close friends, people that are close to me. I encourage them, if they need a tattoo from me, or if they need something from me artistic wise, like a painting or tattoo,
Yeah.
message me through Instagram.
Okay.
Strictly Instagram, because that's
That
where
was
I can
literally
keep
my next
every
question. Like, how do people reach out to you? Yeah.
I
Um,
just yeah.
yeah, what you mentioned painting, like, how does painting differ from tattooing as far as, like, your creativity?
Painting is a way to defuse, because with tattooing, you have to follow rules. You have to follow a certain set of rules for the healing process, because it is a procedure. You're messing up someone's skin to put an idea or image onto the skin. With
Yeah.
painting, I can go over the idea as many times as I can with ease. Like, there's no stress, there's no pressure. It's allowing myself to feel the creativeness that I need to feel so I can do my job. Because with my job, it's so restricting, and then it's like, "Okay, I need to step away and breathe and break some rules so I can go and paint a skull." I can't do that on skin, but I can do it on a canvas, and that makes me feel better.
So you have, like, more freedom on the canvas then, like, a
Very
little
much more.
less pressure. Nice.
And it doesn't yell at me.
Does does your tattoo work influence your paintings at all?
A lot of them, yeah. I have a few actually. I, um I could grab some. I'm not sure if I have enough time to grab them, but yes,
We
I
have
do.
all the time you want. If you wanna show us your paintings, I'd love to see it.
I do have some influence by from tattooing, like this American traditional style with the bold lines, and then I have my incorporation on it, because tattooing itself is a tradition, and different styles in it is so amazing and so enriching, like the Japanese style and all these other creative styles like mambo and
I don't even know what
drawing a
Mambo.
blank. Mambo, I think he's in the UK. He does really bold black lines and then spurts of color underneath them, and it's really wild and crazy. It's like pop art, like Andy Warhol, but not mimicking life objects so much.
Oh, okay. I gotta look that up.
Oh, it's amazing. I'll send you the link.
How would you describe your artistic style?
Miscellaneous.
Miscellaneous? Has that always been the case, or has that evolved over time?
It's evolved into that, because at first I wanted to do something called a 3D skit. I don't know why I thought on that name. It was supposed to be, or no, printing error. It was also called printing error, because I would put the bold lines and then I would misplace the color where it was supposed to be, so it kinda colored out of the lines kinda deal.
I've seen your stuff like that where
Yes!
I've seen it where it's like Nintendo characters and the colors just kind of like it's not colored in, the colors just kind of there. I remember the first time I saw that, I thought it was so unique. Like it, it instantly, like I felt like that's you, you know?
I really do love that style, and it's so much fun, and it's so spunky. As bold and as bold as it is, it's still spunky. Because you don't see it every day.
Yeah.
It's not a style that you'd imagine on someone's skin.
No, and I love that you have like it. I really enjoy it for what it is, but also that you have this unique thing that is like uniquely yours. How do you balance giving clients what they want? Like you said, they want the skulls and the roses, but you still want to stay true to your artistic, like your own aesthetic. Like, how do you balance that?
I give myself the 3 set rule.
Okay.
So the 3 set rule, it's if I can't meet what they're imagining by the 3rd time redesigning something, I release them back into their universe and hope that they find their artist.
So,
And
so you, go
I
on.
do
Sorry.
this oh, sorry.
No, no, no,
I do
please
this
go on.
because of the benefit of the client and for myself. I believe that there is enough tattoo artists in this world, of a lot of talented, amazing, extraordinary people, and I believe people need to find their artists that can understand them. So my biggest boundary with people, I make it very clear that this is what I do, this is what I'm capable of doing, this is what I'm willing to attempt to do. But if I strongly know and feel I cannot do a tattoo or a certain style, I make it very clear and I tell them, hey, I know somebody that can do this. I'd rather not do this. I'd rather you leave happier than shit faced with me. Like, because at the end of the day, my pride, my ambition, my passion is second shelf. Because being a tattoo artist, I believe, in my opinion, though getting tattoos are a luxury, you're still a servant. You're still serving somebody. You're still serving the idea. You're still helping and assisting somebody with something they're seeing. And if I can't see it, and if it takes 3 times and I still can't see it, then I'm not your artist. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. You can still like somebody's art. You still like what they do. And it's okay if they can't do what you're asking of them. It just means that you got to find someone that can.
Sure. I think that's great. And again, parallels. I've encountered that myself where like I've had clients send me stuff and go, there's not much that I can do here. And I don't want to take your money just to take your money. Like it needs to, like, I need to benefit you and make sure that this is making you happy. And it's just not I'm not your best option, you know? Um,
Exactly.
so yeah, no, that's so important. What, what do you think is the biggest misconception about tattoo artists?
There's a lot, but I think the biggest one that comes to mind is pricing, I guess, or how people so say you have somebody that works at a tattoo shop and does little bangers and can do clean tattoos, but they can't do a portrait.
Okay.
Everybody, almost a lot of people think tattoo artists, almost every tattoo artist can do a portrait or certain styles. Just because there's a tattoo artist does not mean that they can do every style. They have their style and they have styles that they are specializing in. The
Yeah.
biggest misconception is that because just because one guy can do it doesn't mean the next guy can. And if one guy can do it for one price doesn't mean the other guy can do it for the same price or cheaper for better. And that's
Yeah.
the biggest, scariest thing that people have about tattoo artists, I think, in my
Okay.
opinion. But then again,
Yeah. That's great insight. What, what's something like only other tattoo artists would understand?
that's a tough one.
You've given such amazing answers. I finally stumped you. I love this.
You have, because I don't feel like I'm more of an artist than a tattoo artist. I guess that's why I'm so stumped because I
Sure.
don't there's a lot of tattoo artists that I admire that I know would not like me around or in some way because of how I perceive or how I have a perspective of everything. A lot of people worry more about money and I worry about what can I do to make them happy? But
Yeah.
that's my opinion, though. I'm more of
Okay.
an artist than a tattoo artist.
I love that. Okay.
So I don't know how to relate to that one because something that a tattoo art I guess fighting the stencil maker because sometimes they eat the machine. I've had a few fights with the stencil maker. I've seen my mentors have fights with stencil makers.
Nice. Okay. I I don't know if I know what a stencil maker is. Apparently, I need
It's
more
the
tattoos.
it's like a thermofax. It's the thing that we feed our images through onto the purple sheet to transfer to
Oh,
scan.
okay. Yes. Yes, that does make sense now. Um, how do you avoid, like, creative burnout if you're doing this every day, not just when you're feeling creative, but you're doing this as a living? Like, how do you not get burnt out creatively?
I go and find people to talk to. I find people that are older than me or I go to strangers. Like I go to people like when I say I go to people, I go to like the bar or smoke shop and I talk to my friends or I talk to the local patrons there and I just listen. I hear other people's stories and I just distract myself and then I realize after a few hours of listening to other people and just other people's lives, it kind of sparks some kind of creativity because when I step away from the tattoo world and I step away from my own little art world and I need some kind of inspiration, listening to other people and how they live and how they've lived life and how they perceive the world, it's kind of interesting. It's really, really enlightening. Like, I have a really bad example. This is going to be a terrible example. I was talking to this flat earther.
Go on.
The earth is flat, but I was listening to him talk about the earth is flat. And all I could think about was how would I draw a duck on a flat earth? So I'm sitting there and I'm just thinking, wow, rubber duckies with little astronaut helmets for the stars if the earth is so flat and if the ducks are big, like, and then it's there. And
Tell me you tattooed this on him. Please tell me you're like, "I have the perfect tattoo for you. Let's go to the shop.
he
Let's
hated
get."
tattoos. He went on a rant about how tattoos are a sin or something.
Wow. I don't know if I'm more offended by the flat earth part or that part. I think that part. Um, but if somebody wants to become a tattoo artist today, what would you think step 1 is? I'm sure the industry's changed in the last 14 years.
I'm the last person to ask that one too. Well, my
Okay.
opinion. Well, I went about it the wrong way. I feel like I
Okay.
feel there's no right or wrong way, there's only your way, and if there is a will, there is a way, that's what I feel.
I
So
agree.
there's if you wanna pick up a tattoo machine, go for it. Just know at the end of the day, anyone can tattoo, but not everybody can make it tattooing, and that's the thing that people need to understand that you can't just pick this up and think, "Oh my god, it's gonna be forever." No, it's gonna be blood, sweat, and tears. You have to prepare for the heartache. You have to prepare for the sacrifice. You have to think, "How many funerals am I gonna miss? How many weddings? How many celebrations? If I fuck up this tattoo, is it gonna make or break me?" You have to live with the decision that you are gonna sacrifice every day and night to drawing for somebody that possibly will never talk to you again, and you have to live with the reality that you are gonna slave and do everything you can because you wanna feel like a person, because at the end of the day, you're gonna be a person, but you're being a person for something bigger than yourself, and when your purpose and your passion overrides that wanna be here and as a reality, it's gonna pay off. All you have to do is put in the work and the time, and if that's gonna be worth it, then hell, I say go for it. Just be ready for the heartache. Just be ready
What
for
great advice.
everything.
Yeah. All right. I want to do like a couple quick, like rapid fire, quick questions here.
Oh no, shield up.
Yeah. Black and gray or color?
Color.
Color. All right. Flash or custom?
Custom.
Well, I know you were going to say that. We talked about this a little bit, but shop life or like independent.
Shop life.
Okay. All right. Um, canvas or skin? Both. Love it. What is the most meaningful tattoo you've ever done?
Oh, there's a few I've done. That's a hard one to pick. I've done a lot, but I think I'd have to
First one
say
that pops in. Yeah.
Widget.
What?
Widget. My friend Widget. I did his wife passed away of cancer. And the same day I did his tattoo was the same day my grandma passed away. So every time I see him and I see this, so his wife's name was Jeannie from the old classic TV show My Dream of Jeannie. So it's this purple
Yeah.
bottle on his chest and with the green smoke, and it says, "Can I come out and play?" And that was the most sentimental, like, breakdown cry with my friend tattoo.
Yeah. Oh, I can imagine. Was that also, like, one of the hardest tattoos you've done, or what would be one of the hardest?
Like, tattoo-wise or oh, I thought you meant emotionally. Hardest
Either.
tattoo?
Or it's, like, the actual skill level or
Shoot,
just emotionally or difficult client, anything.
I think hardest tattoo artistically wise, the first one was emotional, this one's artistically wise. I had to tattoo someone's back, and it was a big cross with, a woman's face with eagle wings with little studded roses, and it
Okay.
turned into a 2 session to a 5 session back piece, and I don't like tattooing feathers. Like, I don't mind it, I'll do them, but I'll be crying. I'll be like,
One of my best friends, she has a full back piece that's all like every color of the rainbow, and it's wings that go from her neck all the way down, like almost to her knees. It's a lot of feathers.
sounds like it. It sounds like a lot of work too.
Oh, I mean, I don't know the exact number. She's going to be on probably next week. Where I'm going to interview her, and I'll ask her that question of like how many sessions it was. But I know it was something she worked on for a while. Even people that don't really know her, they're like, "Wait, the girl with the rainbow wings?" Like, "Yep, that's the one."
See, that's the coolest part when someone can identify you from your tattoos, be like, "Oh, I don't know her name, but I know her tattoos."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Full the rainbow wings. Yeah. What would be like your dream project to work on?
I wanna work on someone's back, but make it like a pop art, illustrative theme, something like from the '70s, but flat, like a video game.
Okay,
I have
flat
it
like the
sketched.
earth, right?
I have almost kinda like the Flat Earthers idea, but cooler. It's
Okay.
gonna be 4D almost. I have it sketched up on a tablet somewhere. If
I
I ever come back on, I'll show you guys my work.
Yes. Yes, yes, absolutely. What does success look like to you now?
Knowing I can call any of my clients and they'd be down for a tattoo right now.
Nice. I think next time I'm in Vegas, I need to come see you and get some ink from you.
Blue ring octopus.
Yes, yes. We're doing this. 100%, 100%.
Yes.
Um, do you see yourself tattooing forever, or what do you think? Okay. Um, what was my next question? My brain just shut off. I guess just to kind of wrap things up, like where can people find your work? You mentioned wanting to show your work. Like if people want to check out your paintings and your tattoo work, of course, like what's the best place for them to find you?
If you want to find me on Instagram is Daph Doll _ink. And through there you can find my other private page for my paintings.
I
And
love
you
that.
can if you're ever in Vegas, you can find me at Hidden Grill, and the cross streets are Russell and Eastern.
Okay, very cool. One thing I always do at the end of these is I always open up the floor to you to add, like what question would you like to ask me, or what question would you have for me now that I've asked you like 50 of them?
What's your favorite show you got to work at?
My favorite what now?
Your favorite show or favorite musician you got to work with?
Like, I think show-wise, like live event, I would say I really like the big events. So I've done audio and show like setting up audio systems and everything from unloading trucks and running cables to doing monitor and all kinds of audio related stuff. And I've worked a couple like WrestleManias. I've worked 7 Super Bowls at this point. Um, NBA All-Star game. Like for me, there is I'm not a football fan. I've been to 7 football games in my entire life. They've all been Super Bowls, right?
Nice.
And for me, I don't necessarily enjoy the teams, like kind of like you, like I'm just happy to be here. I hope everybody has fun, right? I hope both teams win. So it's like, but I have no understanding of what's happening, who the teams are, but I see the passion that people have for something that they are a fan of, and I love that. Like, I don't have to know who your team is to when I see somebody and their face is all painted and they're like, "Woo, go sport team." I couldn't even think of one off the top of my head. And
They
they're
named
just
their
like,
firstborn after one of the players.
yeah, like they're just so into the fandom and to realize that this is something that brings them joy away from their normal like 9 to 5, if you will. I always really appreciate that, and I love the excitement of like, this is the big day, this is the big game, like this means the absolute world. This is a life-changing experience for a lot of people. Even if it's not me, I'm just there to work. I really appreciate that fact. So I love those kind of big live events.
Mhm,
Um when it comes to like who are my favorite people I've ever worked with musically, I think a lot of my career has been in pop, in a lot of hip hop. I've worked with a lot of great hip hop artists and some EDM, which I like, but I'm not outside of being an engineer, like I'm not immersed in hip hop culture as a fan the way like some people, again, kind of that same thing where they are just really, they live and breathe it. They live that lifestyle. Like rap is the music, but hip hop is the culture, right? And there's so
yeah,
much more to hip hop than just rapping. It's everything in that culture. And so for me, not necessarily as an outsider, because I've really worked in that industry a lot, in that genre a long time, but I always feel like a little bit of an outsider, like I'm the weird guy with the tattoos, right?
mhm,
Like, "What do you know about rap? What are you doing in our session?" I've heard that from people. And so, I wi even though I've worked with some really big names in those genres, my personal preference, like my favorite music is like industrial music, right? And one of my favorite bands was Nine Inch Nails growing up. And to then through the course of my career, now like one of my really good friends is Chris Verena, who's the original drummer for Nine Inch Nails. And he's also played with Marilyn Manson, another one of my favorite bands. And like his resume of like just every band that I would listen to. And he's like, oh, casually like, oh yeah, I worked on that album or did that or whatever. And so to not only become friends with him, but I had an opportunity that we worked together, and we didn't just work together, we worked together on my album, and he produced my album. And at the time, I was managing this huge recording facility in Orlando, and he flew out to Orlando and stayed on my couch in my studio apartment at the time. And we just went into the studio every day and we filmed the whole thing. It's all up on YouTube, but it was for the band was Human Factors Lab. The album was The Suicide Diaries. And to just be in the studio with somebody that I not only respected as a artist, but also just his skill and to like he Nine Inch Nails, this is going back, like they were there when Pro Tools started. They were there
yeah.
working like I thought I knew Pro Tools until I sat next to him for 5 minutes and I was like, I know nothing. I don't deserve to be in this room. And learn and have that opportunity with somebody who I grew up just loving the music that he created. And then also like hearing some of the cool stories from Nine Inch Nails or Manson or other projects. So that was one of my favorite things. And then the other one was again, kind of for the same reason. So, I recently did one of my other favorite bands it still is KMFDM, and old school industrial. They've been around and they're still doing it. And they're just as amazing now as they ever have been. And to be given the opportunity of like going from a fan in high school and listening to like the Symbols album and just like, oh, Mortal Kombat soundtrack or no matter
Yeah.
what it is. And then I did the Dolby Atmos, like the spatial audio mix on their album that came out a month ago. And, I know these people, they're friends of mine. I've toured with them a couple times. Maybe we'll tour with them again in the future. Who knows? But to still, even though I know them and they're friends of mine and there's a reason that they approached me to do that, I know that I put in the work and I've earned the ability to do that. There's always that imposter syndrome where I'm still that kid in high school and
Yeah.
fan who is like, man, like, why are they asking me to do this? Am I going to be able to do a good job? And to get emails, not just from them, but also the record label and everybody who is involved behind the scenes of just going, like, thanking me for what a great job I did. I feel like that meant more to me than some of the like bigger quote unquote albums that had more maybe commercial success or whatever. And people were like, "Oh yeah, thanks for doing that." And I was like, "Okay, cool. Yeah, I did my job." But for this, just a little like even a thank you.
Nice. Oh, I love it. Okay. Of course. Oh, thank you. Awesome. Yes. I'm Daphne, Daph Doll _Inc. on Instagram. Thank you for having me. Have a good one.